Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. As you guys can see, we're in the shop right now. I'll be bringing the truck in here shortly. It's 100 degrees outside, so I apologize if we get really hot and disgusting today, but that's just kind of what happens when you're in peak summer. So yeah, what are we doing today? Well, today we're kind of continuing the last video. We're going to be installing a item on top of that sports bar that we just installed on the Silverado. You guys might be wondering, well, what are we installing? Well, this little thing right here, as you guys can see, this is a large box from Baja Designs. This is another collaboration between General Motors and Baja Designs. You guys know that we have their ditch lights and brackets installed on the Silverado already. I'll have that video link up above. And today we're installing this 40-inch light bar. And yeah, I don't think, there's not even any pictures of it. So, but yeah. Here's the part number. It is 194-17864. I actually ordered this on Chevrolet.com. Type in, your car, log in. I have an account because, I bought the Silverado. Log in and they've got accessories right from their website. And then they actually had 25% off anything over $900. So, gives you a little hint. This was very expensive. But if you guys look at the going rate for 40-inch bars from Baja Designs, it kind of falls in right in line with that. So, all right, so we got the kit opened up and just kind of want to show you all what we have. You've got these blink out plates. So basically, if you're driving down the road, you want to protect the lights. Those will snap in place. You got 4 of those. You got your driver's side mount, passenger side mount. You got a instruction kit, some zip ties, wire harness cap, and that stuff. And then you've got some hardware. So it looks like this will just basically screw down into the brackets, and you'll tie the bracket to the side of the light. So this shouldn't be too hard of an install, but let's go ahead and get these instructions opened up. I did kind of freak out because there is a Colorado on here, but if you look, it says install instructions for multiple kits, and forget which number this one is. This one ends in 864. 864 is the very last one underneath the zip tie. So, all right guys, I've gone through the instructions and they're pretty simple. They pretty much want you to do the electrical and then do the install, but so they want you to run a wire harness that I didn't buy. We'll get into that in a second. They do give you a pin if you want to create your own wire harness, so that's fine. They want you to take the bar off, kind of like I said, and run the wiring through it, and then run it through the stake pocket. Like I said, kind of running the wire up through it. If I'm reading that correctly, it says Canyon on there, so that's not applicable because we have a Silverado. And what else? Yeah, that's pretty much it. They do show them taking the top plate off, so we might end up needing to do that. And then the one thing I wanted to show, they actually have the mounts going forward, pushing the light over the roof. I didn't know it was going to be like that, so that's kind of cool. I am glad we did check that out. So FYI, put the mounts facing forward, and I think that's about all we need to be concerned with. Secure harness, attach it to the battery, yeah, all that stuff. So all we're going to be doing today is pretty much installing the light. So they want us to run the wiring first, and they also want us to buy that harness. And that is because, one, I still haven't figured out the brake light for the third brake light on the bar versus the one on the cab. We still haven't figured that out. I've got a lead on that, so got an idea how to do that. I need to confirm it with another guy. And then second is, I didn't buy the wiring harness. And you guys might be wondering, well, don't you need a wire harness to run that? Yeah, we do. But as you guys know, we installed the factory auxiliary upfitter switch. I'll have a link to that video up above, and that's actually how I control the ditch lights. So we're going to run it one power wire inside to that switch that we want to use. It'll be the first, second will be the third switch over. And then on top of that, all we have to do is run a ground. You can either run the ground into the engine bay or up by where the other ground is, which is near the battery. So yeah, all we're really going to need is a power and ground, so the wiring shouldn't be too difficult. But as like I said, I need to figure out that third brake light wiring. I don't want to run through 2 different sets of wires through that sports bar. I'd rather use the wire sheath, wire loom that's already in there. run it all at once. So that's kind of my plan, is to modify the factory harness that came with the third brake light, and second is create our own harness for this rack light. And yeah, so that's pretty much gonna be it for wiring. I don't think we're gonna cover any of that in this video, but like I said, so they do sell a wire harness for this. I think it's like $150 or $200, something like that. I already have all the supplies I need here because we've done custom wiring on the Corvette. And I want to wire it my own way. I don't have to be dependent on a key fob, which I think is kind of ridiculous. Just use switches on the auxiliary upgrader switch. All right, guys, so my kit came with 2 sets of hardware. I don't know why. I got a kind of jumbled bag with everything in it, and then I got individual bags with just single parts in it. So a little weird, but I've just been taking everything out of here because I think this is what you're supposed to use, and I guess the rest will just be extra. But yeah, so they want a 1/4 inch bolt. This one has a little bit of thread locker on it, and then a 1/4 inch washer as well. You're gonna put that through this bracket, so just like that. So bolt, washer, bracket, attach bracket to the light, and that should be about it. So nothing super complex, just got to get this lined up, and this bracket is a little bit heavy, so let's get this thread started. Oh, there you go. And yeah, that's pretty much about it. And they want the bracket, if you guys look at the shape, this is gonna be how it's mounted on the truck. So you know, your 3 mounts, you want the outside mount pointed outwards just like this side, and that way your brackets look pretty much essentially something like that. All right, guys, I have kind of installed the light. You guys can see it's loosened up because I needed to be able to aim it, but I've been working on the hardware, and the center piece right here, as you guys can see, that hole is not lining up at all. This hole isn't lining up at all. These ones are lined up on the edge here, but it's almost like this metal piece might be warped. But yeah, you guys, it's just not fitting. And by the way, the factory bar bolts are a T30, I think. Yeah, T30, you guys can see that. So take these off, it's a T30. These brackets are supposed to bolt in there, and then you use the longer hardware, and that's a 10mm headed bolt. All right, guys, I basically had to take all of the front screws out. So this one, this one, this one, and this one, and physically kind of just pull the bracket up a little bit from the back like that, and just physically try to press these in by hand and get them tight and finger tight. So we've gotten this one almost tight. This one's pretty much there. This one I need to tighten down a little bit more, and then we can do the back. So yeah, it's just kind of a wiggling game, I guess, if that's what you want to call it. So basically take all the front hardware out. I did keep these 2 back bolts in so that the light doesn't try to flop into the back of the roof. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So all right, guys, apologize that it's getting dark out, but that is the way of working in summer, trying to work at night and you know, avoid the heat. So we are fully done with the install. We got all 3 bolts here. So we did get the 3rd bolt installed on both sides. It's a 10mm head, it's a 10mm nut, it's a locking nut, so you will need a wrench up top and bottom. Same thing over here, 10mm, 10mm, tighten those down, you're good to go. And yeah, that is pretty much gonna be it. Obviously we have the wire ran here just temporarily. Can't really do any wiring right now because, like I said, we're still trying to figure out this 3rd brake light. As you can see, it is raining out and we are on the interstate, and that is because I'm trying to answer a question. Does the light bar cause noise and can you hear it? Well, so far I've been up to 85. I'm not hearing it. The only thing I'm hearing is the exhaust and the tires and a little bit of the rain, you know, because we are hearing raindrops and whatnot. But you know, I could say at least on my truck, I'm not hearing any additional wind noise that you wouldn't already hear. So if you guys are concerned about wind noise, I don't think you need to be. I'm really not hearing it. It's not like, you know, I'm not hearing anything like that. maybe if you're sitting in the back seat and your head is right near the rear window, you might hear something back there, but from up front, I'm not hearing anything. So hopefully that helps answer one of the questions that you guys might have is, you know, does this light bar cause a bunch of wind noise? And my answer so far is no. So yeah, that's gonna be it for the physical install of the light bar on the Silverado. Hopefully, you know, we gave you some advice with taking all the bolts out, keep those 2 back bolts in, and then just kind of, you know, wiggle and mess with all those front bolts to get those lined up. You'll eventually get that installed and everything will tighten down just without problem. Then hopefully taking the truck on the interstate, seeing if it made any wind noise. Hopefully that answered any questions you guys might have. Other than that, that's pretty much going to be it for the install part. The next part we got to do is going to be the wiring. So that'll be coming up soon. I might start on that today, but kind of like we showed you, it's raining. So I'm not sure how the weather will be this afternoon, and we'll go from there. So if you guys like this video, hit that like button. If you want to see more updates on the wiring for not only the 3rd brake light on the sports bar, but the light bar itself, hit that subscribe button, turn on your bell notifications. If you guys want to help support the channel, check out all the links down below. I will include a part number for the light bar. I'm not sure we'll be able to find that online. And the other thing is, if you guys want to know, it is just a Baja Designs S8 40-inch bar. If you guys want to buy that, you can go ahead and do that. But you won't have the wiring, you won't have the mounts, and you have to figure something out. So that light bar and mount system is all designed to work together. So if you guys don't buy that through the GM kit, you know, I'm not sure you'll be able to get something to work. Something universal probably, yeah, but you won't have the GM mounts, kind of like I was saying. So, also make sure you check out our website, BonecrrusherSS.com. Any support you can give there goes right back into the channel, these projects, the truck, the Corvette, shop, all that. That's going to be it. Thanks, guys. Have a great one.